This video is protected by the Fair Use Act of 1976, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1787, Title 18, 8 U.S.C. 1, 3, 2, 4, the Treaty of Madrid 1880, and UCC 1-308.
This is Sabir Bey, back in Library. This is where the lies are buried. What, in the new Hickey, kind of new lies, can I find in the library? Will I find them in the latest Black's Law Dictionary? Please buy one of my law classes. Only $125 per session.
Hit the like button. I'm going to get out of here long before this July. Maybe at my next appeals hearing, my sentence will be overturned. I want you to research and look up Stockholm Syndrome. Because I am living it. I am absolutely living it. Later, Gator. My nationality is Moorish.
Hey Luna, do a super chat. Don't just talk about it. Do it.
All rise and stand, and remain standing into perpetuity, so that you can hear and obey the commands from the living sovereign justices of the Moorish American Consulate. This is a sovereign living ancient Moorish American now Moroccan Article 3 Moorish Consular Court action. I am the sovereign living justice Onawa Ehawee Bey, in capitis diminutio nolo, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio here des, at this time, and at all points in time. All Moors are the original indigenous sovereign ancient Al-Moroccan Moorish American ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet and ancient Moabites and Canaanites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our credit and our energy, are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous natural divine sovereign ancient empire state for Morocco, and the de jure Moorish National Republic Federal Government, Washington, the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. We are peace. We are one nation, one estate, one empire, and one God. We hereby accept our sovereign ascension and exercise all sovereign rights at this time, and at all points of time, nunc pro tunc. All rise and stand. All rise and stand.
Oh dear, it is time once again for another dose of Morockozol.
You are not talking to the sovereign. No United States of America Corporation Company citizen, de facto government nor their agents, principals, hers assigns, nor any derivatives thereof, has personam jurisdiction, nor territorial subject matter jurisdiction over any Moors.
Miss Long, so far, you are my most challenging test subject.
There is no such person as Montina Long. I am Onawa Ehawee Bey, in capitis diminutio nolo, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio here des, at this time, and at all points in time.
How is Dr. Benton's other test subject doing with Morockozol? Title 18, 8 U.S.C. 1, 3, 2, 4.
The judge accused me of being in contempt of court 9 times, and I lost $9,000 altogether.
Ne prdi na sodišću, Vakić, ko prdneš na sodišću, te lahko sodnik oglobi $1000.
What did you just say? Don't fart in court. If you fart again in court, the judge will make you pay another $1,000 each time.
We're not together. We never were.
According to Article 1, Section 10, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution, There can be no legislative laws that could intercede or interrupt the functioning of a contract in which the trust is properly functioning. And the trust is properly functioning, Your Honor. So, with that. Okay, here's what we will do, since you are rambling on again, far worse than the late Charles Manson at a parole hearing. What we will do is have you put all of your jurisdictional arguments in writing. Because you're wrong. So we might as well get it in writing that you are wrong.
This is your favorite auditor. Audit them. The one who encourages you to audit them, regardless of form or characteristic. Some of these government buildings I visit, when I make my FOIA requests, do not prominently display the bathroom when I have to do number ones. Why can't they be prominently displayed? It's annoying for me to have to explain what prominently means.
And if you have to explain what prominently means, your energy was just low. All rise and stand, and remain standing into perpetuity. This is an Article 3 Moorish Moroccan Consular Court action.
Okay, let's call the case of Strawman Vena versus Michael Mitchell. Objection. You're using my Strawman Corporational Company name, and not my chosen appellation. My chosen appellation is Malik Abdul Bey. In capitis minutio nolo, in propria persona sui juris. I think we get the point. The court calls the case of Strawman Vena versus Malik Abdul Bey. Sir, you are appearing without an attorney. I have to advise you that you were fleeing and eluding, in the third degree, a felony which can lead to a maximum of 5 years incarceration and a $2,000 fine, not a fine in Moorish dolarium, but $2,000 in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes, plus court costs, also in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes, not Moorish dolarium. Objection. The Federal Reserve notes are a debt and a fraud in my indigenous homeland of Northwest Amexem. How, in the new Hickey, are you going to pay your fine, if not in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes? I could pay in dolarium. It's our fiduciary money, based on silver and gold, while the Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes are a debt and a fraud. Objection overruled. As per the Emergency Banking Act of 1933, all fines are to be paid in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes. Objection. Forcing any indigenous person of Moorish nationality on Northwest Amexem to pay fines in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes is high treason. That is high treason to whom? The Moorish American National Republic federal government. I am not under your jurisdiction.
Wrong!
As long as you're in my courtroom, you are under my jurisdiction. Additionally, the Secretary of State of Strawman could legally withhold your privilege to drive for up to a year. Objection. I don't drive. I travel. You won't be able to do that from behind the wheel of a car. I don't need a driver's license anyway, because I am not operating in a commercial capacity. You won't be allowed behind the wheel of a car, even if you are using it for private use. That's the law in the state of Strawman. Do you understand? I comprehend. The court has to further advise you. If you wish to be represented by counsel, the court will make sure that you will be appointed an attorney in this matter. If you cannot afford to hire counsel, in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes, one can be appointed for you. I also wish to advise you, should you not wish to be represented in court, the court would treat you as if you already were called to the bar. There are certain dangers of self-representation, in that you will be required to abide by the Strawman court rules, Strawman rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. Do you understand that? I do not. You do not? What, in the new Hickey, is about it, that you do not? It's against my religion to adhere, or to assimilate, to any statutory. Sir, I am not asking anything about your religion. That is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that? I'm having a hard time understanding why, in the new Hickey, or how, in the new Hickey, how religion doesn't play a role. How what? How religion doesn't play a role. Religion doesn't play a role in what I do, or what this court does.
My child, this is your prophet, noble Jawali, from up above. My child, your foolish acts caused you to end up in the Strawman Corporational Company de facto court. My child, representing yourself as in propria persona sui juris, will do you no good. My child, accept the offer of the public defender, and pay all court costs in Strawman Corporational Company Federal Reserve notes, whether or not you consider them to be a debt and a fraud. I command you.
There are certain rules of this court, established by the legislature and the Strawman State Supreme Court, regarding how these court proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accordance with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, in accordance with the American Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the International, or United Nations Universal Declaration of Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the governments should.
Sir, you have no authority for what you are about to state, because what you're about to state is incorrect.
But I'm an indigenous person.
Sir, what you are about to state is incorrect.
Well,
if you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
that's a matter of perspective, Your Honor.
It is, and the only perspective that will matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands, subject to indigenous or tribal rules. Instead, we are subject to the Strawman Corporational Company rules, as established by the Strawman legislature. Pursuant to the rules established by the Strawman Supreme Court, as they are promulgated by procedure and evidence. Do you understand that is what is happening, sir?
I do not.
What, in the Hickey, is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I am going to tell you something, sir. If you're unable to understand what I'm saying, we will have to go through this jurisdiction Hickey again. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and they will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial, and to establish that Moorish science sovereign citizenship has not messed with your head, so that you can stand trial in these proceedings.
I would agree to a competency hearing, as long as the prosecution and court officers agree to do the same.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules. I'm ordering a competency.
My child, this is your prophet again. My child, your foolish actions led you to the judge ordering a competency exam. My child, your failure to abide by the Strawman Vehicle Code, and your lack of respect for the laws have put you in this position. My child, go through with a competency exam and stop being so stubborn. I command you.
Defendant is ordered for a competency hearing. I will set a competency hearing for 3rd of June 2024, at 9 a.m. sharp. Okay, sir, I'm going to ask you this. It will depend on where you will be staying for a period of time. If they send you information as to when you have your forensic interview,
Yes, sir.
are you going to cooperate and attend that interview?
Under threat of duress and corrosion, Your Honor.
Pardon?
Under threat of duress and corrosion, Your Honor.
That's not how it works. I'm asking if you will voluntarily and cooperatively go to the forensic interview.
I say yes. What are you relaying to me in regards where I will stay?
I am going to make sure that the forensic interview is done. I have ordered a forensic interview. Now I am asking you whether or not, when given notice of that interview, whether or not you will cooperate with the interview.
I'll go to the interview.
Anything from the people?
Please grant the people the authority to prepare the written order for the competency hearing.
Yes, please prepare the written order for the competency hearing for Mr. Malik Abdul Bey, if you would. Permission granted.
Is the defendant's address in Strawmanville correct, where we need to send the written copy of the competency hearing notice?
Yes, it is. At this time, bond is continued, pending the competency hearing. And if you had an affidavit, you were supposed to have already filed it.
I filed my affidavit today.
It's a bit late for me to take action on that. I filed my affidavit with your receptionist. Why, in the new Hickey, did you not file it before today? At the last hearing, you said to file my affidavit. It should have been filed before today. We're going by my rules, not yours. You are under my de facto jurisdiction. Your Honor, I won't hear Mr. Bey's motion at this time. Defendant is granted a continuance on bond. Defendant to refile his motion. The defendant can go. Stay away from Moorish science. It will ruin your life. Dirty Moors are, like, cool, and stuff. Yeah, hey, they, like, stick it to the man, Mr. Establishment, Whitey himself. Hey. My nationality is Moorish.
We're not together. We never were.
What's up, guys? This is Auditing the USA. I'm at the Strawmanville Central Park. Just looking around.
Can I help you?
You can get out of my way.
You are in a crime scene. I need you to exit this area.
It's a free country, and I am just making a documentary.
Where are your press credentials? I can't have you contaminating the crime scene.
My press credentials are the First Amendment of the United States Constitution.
If you don't leave here, I will be forced to put you under arrest. I know you, by the way. You were arrested for trespassing at the Molokoteo police station. Do you want to end up in the Strawmanvania jail? It's not much better than one in Washington.
Do they serve food from Taco Bell?
Why would we ever order food from Taco Bell?
Okay, I'm out of here.
I need it quiet. Quiet so that I can hear my ID.
You don't need to hear your ID.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Hey, Beavis. Did we, like, get any more of that little leaf? Elon Muskaloon spring mix? Oh, yeah. Hey. The driver came, like about an hour ago. They like gave us some Batman stuff. Hey. Gotham Greens, or something. Darn it, Beavis. Those people at customer service know not to substitute the Elon Muskaloon spring mix. You're, like, supposed to kick the delivery driver in the nades, and stuff. Now I have to, like, call customer service and have them take back the greens and give us cool stuff? Not stuff that sucks. Hey. Okay. And, like, pay attention to the deliveries. We don't like lettuce. That sucks. And stuff.
If, like, your supply of little leaf Elon Muskaloon spring mix was low, your energy was, like, low, and stuff. I, like, want some nachos.
Moving forward, regardless of form or characteristic.
Wharf.
Oh, Wiggles, watch it doing. Wanna do a tongue twister?
Orf.
Betty bought butter, but the butter was bitter, so Betty bought better butter to make the bitter butter better. Good job, buddy.
Honey, I think it's time to take Wiggy out.
Okay, I'll get the leash. No, Wiggles, you cannot go chase the squirrels.
Woof.
Wiggles did his business and soon he went back home. Attention on track 1. Southbound Orange Line train to Forest Hills.
What would happen if I stepped into the tracks?
Track 1. Southbound Orange Line train to Forest Hills. Please stand back.
What would happen if I didn't stand back?
R2D2, you really need some rewiring.
You could learn a lot from a goofy bot. Meanwhile, in Chicago, Illinois, GoatBoy is plotting to take down YouTube channels. Channels run by sussers and Beazo clowns.
Here's what I've been saying. I'm going to tackle the big channels. I'm going to have the channels removed. I'm going to need assistance from additional auditors. Why? Because these bootlicker channels steal other people's content. They can call it fair use, but they know that it's not. You can have bootlickers' channels removed, because they're based off of theft of other auditors' work.
광명성 3호 이호기 위성 발사 성공. 12월 10일 평안북도 철산군 소위 위성 발사장에서
I need it quiet. Quiet so that I can hear my ID.
You don't need to hear your ID.
Are you okay in there, sir?
I'm probably gonna need some more toilet paper.
Sir, yes, sir.
Talk about a bootlicker. Regardless of form or characteristic.
Peace and Grand Rising. Here is where I was on Sunday, the 3rd of December 2023. This is where I was kidnapped and pumped full of hodl and Valium.
Hey Beavis. Shouldn't that delivery dude be here by now?
Hey. I hope he's not, like, joyriding or something. Hey.
We'll have to call the salesperson. This, sucks, and stuff.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Oh, Wiggles, what you doing?
Woof.
Did you go walkies?
Woof. This show, sucks, and stuff.
Yeah. Hey. It sucks. Change it.
We're not together. We never were.
What would happen if I were to jump on the luggage belt?
Really? You've been watching the Chappie movie too many times. You'll end up like C-3PO in The Empire Strikes Back, filmed before you're done.
You could learn a lot from a goofy bot.